Where do you think you're going?
I'm gonna sort it out.
In a remote African village, nestled deep within the lush, vibrant jungles, life was once a serene blend of community and nature. The sun would rise over the trees, casting golden rays that danced upon the faces of villagers as they went about their daily routines. But then, a dark and troubling menace emerged, shattering the peace that had reigned for generations. For weeks, the villagers found themselves gripped by an overwhelming sense of terror, haunted by the ferocious actions of 3 lions that had claimed the lives of more than 7 individuals and 2 young couples.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go out with man. Please, no, please, it's okay.
Can you imagine that? A place where laughter and joy echoed through the trees, now silenced by fear. The local authorities, along with seasoned hunters, tried desperately to track and subdue these predators, but their efforts were in vain. The lions were cunning, elusive, and seemed to possess an almost supernatural ability to evade capture. With each passing day, as more families mourned their loved ones, the atmosphere in the village grew heavier, thick with despair and anxiety. It was a situation that no community should have to endure. A nightmare that felt unending. But amidst this growing darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of a courageous young man named Kwame. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate Kwame. He wasn't just any young man. He was inspired by the tales of his ancestors, stories of bravery and resilience that had been passed down through generations. Driven by a fierce determination to protect his people, Kwame decided to take matters into his own hands. He approached his grandfather, a man known throughout the village for his expertise as a hunter in days gone by. With a heart full of resolve, Kwame borrowed an old yet reliable hunting rifle. It wasn't just a weapon. It was a symbol of hope, a connection to the past, and a reminder of the strength that lay within him. With the weight of his village's hopes resting on his shoulders, Kwame ventured into the jungle. Picture this: the dense foliage surrounding him, the cacophony of wildlife echoing in his ears, each step forward echoing the urgency of his mission. It was an arduous journey, fraught with the constant threat of encountering the very predators he sought to confront. But he pressed on, fueled by love for his community and the desire to restore peace. After several grueling hours of tracking, Kwame stumbled upon a breathtakingly serene scene. A vast expanse of sea, its tranquil waters shimmering under the golden hue of the setting sun. But there in the shadow of towering cliffs near the shoreline were the 3 lions, resting.
Hello, my boys. Hello. I see you there. Easy.
Their formidable forms silhouetted against the horizon were a stark reminder of the danger that had plagued his village. Kwame's heart raced. The calmness of the scene was deceptive. Beneath it lay the potential for further tragedy. With a deep breath, he steadied his aim, preparing to confront the threat that had loomed over his people for far too long. And then, he fired. The shots rang out, piercing the stillness of the evening, shattering the quiet with their intensity. One by one, the lions fell, their reign of terror finally brought to an end. The silence that followed was profound. It was a moment of victory, but also a heavy realization of what had been lost, and what had been saved. Kwame, now weary yet triumphant, made his way back to the village. Can you imagine the weight of that moment? The burden of responsibility lifted, replaced by a sense of purpose fulfilled. As he approached the village, word of his victory spread like wildfire, and the atmosphere shifted from one of dread to jubilant relief. People began to gather, their faces lighting up with gratitude and admiration. They celebrated not just the end of their fears, but the bravery of a young man who had ventured into the heart of danger to safeguard their lives. Kwame was greeted as a hero. The once somber village buzzed with the joyous relief of a community freed from the shadow of the lion's terror. His actions were not just a story of survival, they became a symbol of courage and hope, woven into the very fabric of the village's history. So, what can we take from Kwame's story? It reminds us that courage often comes from unexpected places. It teaches us about the power of community, the strength found in unity, and the importance of standing up against fear. Kwame didn't just save his village. He inspired a legacy of bravery that would be told for generations. In times of darkness, we can all find our inner Kwame. It's about recognizing the challenges we face and having the courage to confront them, whether they're personal battles or larger societal issues. It's about understanding that even in the midst of despair, hope can emerge, shining a light on the path forward. So, the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation or facing a daunting challenge, remember Kwame. Remember that even the most terrifying of lions can be faced with courage and determination. You have the power to change your story, just as he did for his village. Embrace your inner strength, gather your resolve, and step boldly into the unknown. The world is waiting for your story to unfold.